So yeah, I was in debt when I met her.
What up, YouTube?
What up? We back.
What's poppin'?
What's poppin'?
Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button and throw us a like if you like what you see what we doing today, baby.
We gonna tell y'all how we bought our house. Not how we manifested it, but the logistics, the reality of it all. Because manifesting is good and great, but realistically, y'all need to know what it takes to buy a house.
Yes, so we're gonna just tell y'all what worked for us, what we did. Obviously, there's a lot of other things and ways to go about this process, but this is just our experience and maybe it'll help somebody out, so.
Yeah, maybe y'all will wanna buy a house after y'all watch this. Maybe y'all will realize y'all are ready or not.
That's okay too. Okay, we asked y'all on Instagram to send us questions and stuff, so we kind of know what y'all wanted to know, but we're just gonna go through, like I said, what we went through. We'll start with preparing for the house, how we started planning, when we started planning, all that jazz. So go ahead, babe.
The process for us really started 2 years ago. So we had started just kind of looking, but not seriously. It was more just like, okay, scrolling on Zillow and realtor.com. And also us realizing like we couldn't afford to buy one if we wanted to 2 years ago. So we set the goals a little bit more out.
Right, which is fine. Like, we knew that we needed to start saving. What are we saving for? Okay, our next purchase is a house. So we chose an amount of money that we felt like we could put in our savings accounts depending on our paychecks, and we put that every paycheck, we put that amount in our savings and we didn't touch it. After that's in our savings, we don't have that money anymore.
Like, act like your savings is like nothing. If you have $0 in your check-ins, you have $0. Do not go and pluck from your savings
At all. Like,
unless it's an emergency, obviously. But don't be like, you know what, I want to go on a little trip, like, and pluck.
And as we started making more money, we also adjusted that payment to our savings to be more, because just because you're making more money on your paycheck doesn't mean you got more to spend, baby. You got a house to buy, so.
But I ain't gonna lie, that was hard.
It was.
In the beginning, okay, so when our salaries changed and increased and we got different careers, it was hard. Like, I was like, dang, like, I'm making my money. And then Lindsay was like, man, we gotta save it. And I was like,
yeah, skirt, skirt.
She was like, put it in the savings.
So that's what we did, you know. Literally, once it was in our savings, we didn't touch it. We didn't even think about it.
For savings, like, if you're trying to think about how you should budget your savings, say you make $1,000 on a check, right? And you're paying, I don't know, like, say your rent is like $600. I know it's not, but let's just do the math like this. So you got $1,000 in your check, your rent is $600. It'll probably be like $150, $200 for gas and groceries. So then you already at $800. I mean, I get it. You only have $200 left. But even starting like with little savings like that, putting $100 here, $200 there, because that's kind of how our savings started. When I first started saving, I could only afford to put like $75 here every couple of weeks.
Yeah.
$100 here every couple of weeks. And then it slowly started to increase with like me finding other ways to make income.
Also, when we started saving and we knew that we wanted to buy a house, we were paying attention to our credit. That's a big thing. So, you know, you have to pay off all your credit cards. You don't want to have that debt. You need to open credit cards if you need to. Not just like willy-nilly, but I think you opened a couple, like,
I feel like I'm a good example of
fixing
the credit. Because Lindsay, when I came into this relationship, she had stellar credit. I grew up with there was no financial literacy in my life growing up. And then I got to college, and y'all know them banks be on campus. They be like, you want a credit card? And when I seen Wells Fargo on campus, I was like, I sure do. And I've been owing Wells Fargo ever since then. Me and Wells Fargo got beef. If you work for them, we're beefing. So yeah, I was in debt when I met her. So I started to work on my credit 2 years ago with her, and she gave me a lot of tips. And one of them was paying off all my credit cards, all of my fees. And then
we started from scratch.
Yeah. And when I say paying off my credit card, I really want y'all to know, like, I wasn't paying it off. Like, I couldn't even use it. At this point, they had not let me use it for years, but I just owed them and all my interest.
Yeah.
So I had paid
yeah,
them.
that interest will get you like crazy.
Yeah, so I had paid them, and then once I started to build my credit for a while, like I opened a credit card, which I opened the Amex with Delta.
So that's something that we had to focus on because we knew that our credit had to be right by the time we were ready to buy a house.
Next, after we started to realize where we need to be with our credit, we then started research and trying to figure out what we wanted in a house.
Randomly just going on Zillow, going on realtor.com, looking at houses, talking about them. Ooh, babe, look at this. That's $1 million, babe. Okay,
Y'all, I used to be sending her $1 million houses. I don't care.
It was good anyway because then we knew what we wanted. No matter the price, we knew kind of what we liked and what we wanted in a house. So that's literally just go scroll. Like when you're scrolling on other social media apps, we scrolled on Zillow and Realtor. We started figuring out what areas cost what type of money for what kind of house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's different neighborhoods in Atlanta, and in this neighborhood it's going to be way more expensive than this neighborhood.
But we would also just randomly be like, ooh, I seen this house in Smyrna, which is a city in Georgia. Why don't we drive over there and check it out ourselves? So we would go drive, look at the house, drive around the neighborhood, like, ooh, okay, this area kind of cute. It's not far from the city.
Finding out our location was obviously a big one. We both work from home. My only commute would be to the airport when I travel. So we had to keep that in mind. So when we would drive to these places, we would look around, you know, feel it out. You're not getting too much information, but like, you know, you could tell like we went to this one house that we were like, oh my God, this is fire. We went and girl,
I know what house you talk about.
Yeah, we were
Nah. It was in the trap. It was a trap house, but they had renovated it.
It was gentrified, but it was the only gentrified thing on the street.
Like,
so no.
y'all, it was literally in smack in the middle of the hood.
Yeah,
like,
and then or like we would be seeing other houses in a random place of Atlanta that I had never heard of. We went and we drove and we were like, oh, like I still don't like this. You know, it looks nice on there, but so these are the type of things that we've been doing.
Knowing that we couldn't afford it yet, we were still like checking it out for when we're ready.
The location, we thought about our commutes. We thought about the neighborhood because we personally want a house that we can stay in for a good amount of time.
Yeah.
So we thought about our kids, the schools. Is it diverse?
Is the neighborhood diverse?
Yes.
When we went to one of the houses, we seen like a black man walk in, and I was like, check. Old black lady walking her dog. I said, check. A little Indian family down the block. Check.
Yeah. What else do we want, babe?
A backyard for Bryson because he is our child for the moment, and also we like backyards because we be grilling.
High ceilings because we were in this apartment. We have no natural lighting in here.
We got like 3 ring lights right now.
Yeah. Our setup is crazy. So we knew we wanted natural lighting, and that high ceilings kind of gives it the natural lighting.
Master bedroom on the second floor because my grandma taught me that you don't want your master bedroom on the first floor because like somebody could break your window, rob you, kidnap you, all that, you know.
Yeah, so
yeah, you know, that's just some street
thing, but
that's just some street knowledge. I'm gonna put y'all on. Do not let y'all master bedroom be on the first floor. No go. So, yeah.
And we wanted it to be 2 stories.
Yes.
So
because of that.
Those were our non-negotiables. We figured that out by looking at a bunch of houses because you don't really know what you want sometimes until you know what you don't want. So after we knew what we wanted in a house and where the areas that we could buy a house, we had to figure out what we could afford and how to get what we wanted.
What we could afford 2 years ago, thank God, is not what we could afford last year when we finally bought our house. So it wasn't bad. It was just like
today.
I mean,
2 weeks ago.
The main things when it comes to figuring out if you can afford a house is when you look at the price, figure out, can I put 20% down? I'll say 20% at least because say you do get approved lower, you'll still have enough for your mortgage because you've saved more than enough. Like you want to save more than your down payment because we have to pay closing fees.
There's a lot of things that you don't think about that just start happening.
The fees be jumping you.
Bitch, come outside. We not gonna jump you. If you don't come outside, I'm gonna grab your mama.
It'd be like feet.
Yeah.
They be building up quick.
Originally, we might have bought a house a year ago, but I think we like stepped back and we were like, it's just not the right time. The housing market was crazy. We wanted to kind of wait until it went down a little bit so we could get what we wanted and we didn't have to sacrifice anything. And we knew that we could be getting more money maybe in the near future with, you know, promotions that I saw in my future and her doing her career better in her career.
So going into that, we can tell y'all that we put down 5% on our house.
Originally, we thought we were gonna do 20% and we could have done 20%.
We saved 20%. Saving 20% really ended up helping us in the long run.
It did.
Because we didn't know that you could do less than, like,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe y'all know, but we went into it thinking like we have to have at least 20% for the house. Once we started talking to the lender, it became, wait a second, based on the credit, y'all can get approved for 10%. And then when we started the application, it was like, wait, y'all should try to get approved for 5% down payment. So it's like, imagine you save 20% down payment and you only paying 5%.
We use that 15% now that we have, that we originally planned to put down on our down payment, and we have that towards renovations.
Yep.
So you can look at it like that. If you have a house that doesn't need any renovations and you want your monthly payment, to be lower, you could put 20% down.
Yeah.
But really, I'm glad we had 20% too, because like we said, the fees, when we had that 20% of the purchase price of the house that we knew that we wanted, or an idea of the purchase price of the house that we wanted, that's when we were like, all right,
We get serious.
yeah, like let's
Credit good, money saved, let's look for real. So in December, I saw a house and I sent it to Lindsay and I was like, with the price and the fact that it has all of our non-negotiables, we need to go look at it for real.
And we were ready at this point.
Yeah.
Like we were ready. We were like, all right, let's schedule a tour, you know. For us, we hadn't even gotten pre-approved yet. We made a list of 5 houses, I think, that were around the same area. They were all in our budget. They looked like they could be something that we would like. And we were just on realtor.com. We said, I'm interested. We clicked the little button and it says like, I'm interested, I want to tour this place or whatever. And then we said, all right, we'll see what happens.
So the first girl to reach out to me, her name was Ashley Regan. I'm gonna tag her. When we went and did the viewing with her, like the first day that we met her, we knew like we're comfortable with her, we're solid. She was so friendly, so informative, and she had it all planned out for us as first-time home buyers. She was patient. We could text her any time of the day. We didn't. But we could like text her any time of the day and she would answer our questions because we had a lot of questions.
Yeah. I mean, because we're first-time home buyers, yeah, we've got a little bit of information from random places, but in reality, we didn't know what we were doing.
We ain't no squat.
So it was comforting knowing when we met up with her that she understood that we were first-time home buyers. She could answer things in layman terms. I didn't feel bad about asking questions.
Yeah.
You have to ask questions, you know, that you don't know the answer to. Escrow, all that stuff.
I was like, what the heck is escrow?
Yeah, like, so.
I've been hearing that, but I don't know what escrow means. You want to tell them what escrow means?
I still don't know, so. Do you know? No. That's the only word I don't know, honestly.
Wait.
I don't know.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. We may have asked her, but we already forgot.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you.
So it's something. It's some money that you gotta pay, but
It's a time thing. Like it's like a time frame. Like something is in escrow.
okay.
Yeah, I know that. Hey, y'all see me. Let me be y'all realtor.
We'll put the definition of escrow right here and see if she's right. 'Cause I don't know.
Like the houses that we saw that day with Ashley, we were like, okay, these are nice. And then boom, we saw the house that we ended up wanting. And we saw that house and y'all fell in love. I was looking at Lindsay like, I want it.
And in reality, I was like, it has everything that we want. It's in our budget. We're not compromising on anything. But I was in this mindset of, this is our first day. Like, we just saw 5 houses, and is that like crazy? You know what I'm saying? I was like we can't just put in an offer. Like, we need to go see more houses.
But then I was looking at it like, we've already seen a bunch of different houses.
And then I came to the realization of it doesn't matter because we're not, if we were to have been compromising on something or a couple things, then yes, we should have gone out and seen more houses. But for that house, there was nothing, it was perfect, you know? That's how we found our house. The next thing that we had to do was call to get the pre-approval. Some realtors won't even show you a house without a pre-approval. We used the lender that our realtor suggested. I sent in the application, he called me back maybe 2 days later and basically said, okay, you have the pre-approval. So once you have the pre-approval, you can put in the offer. So that was done all through our realtor too.
Yeah,
we were
like
literally
she did all of that.
texting her like, okay, this is what we want to put in. She drafted up the documents. She said, okay, sign this. We read through it, made sure everything was okay, and that's how you put in the offer.
We was in New York, and I think we got a text from our realtor that they accepted our offer.
We were like, holy crap, shut up, like literally shut up. And after they approve your offer, the house needs to be inspected. You have to hire inspectors to come. They look at all the little nitty gritties of the house.
And that's another fee. If y'all keeping track, that's another fee.
Yeah.
That do not come with nothing. You have to pay extra couple $100 to get an inspection.
They basically come, they tell you what's wrong with the house.
Yeah.
Like the garage door doesn't work. This outlet doesn't work. There's not heat coming from here or blah, 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 blah. And I think we forgot to mention also, before we put in the offer, since it was just Victoria and I who had originally gone to see the house, we also had my parents go and see the house.
Yeah.
Because we knew, we liked it, but we knew that they would even look at stuff that we didn't really pay attention to. So once they went with our realtor to go see the house and they said, okay, yeah, this looks like a good house.
Yeah.
Then we were even more comfortable. So
to go forward and put in an offer.
And putting in the offers. Like something's wrong with the foundation or water damage. Like that's the stuff that we were crossing our fingers before the inspection.
We were praying the inspection was gonna be fine, because it's like you don't even think about, when you see a house, you're just seeing the aesthetics basically. You're not seeing what's actually going on with the house. Because there are a lot of things in our report that we have to currently get fixed.
There's a couple of things that we could have done. You can ask the sellers to cover the costs of all of the repairs or some of the repairs. You can ask to buy the house at a lower price, or you can take away your offer. At this point, the buyer has basically like the power. Say that our inspection came back and it was like bad, we could be like, okay, we don't want this house anymore. But we chose to ask them to pay for the repairs.
And they said no. And they said they're not paying for nothing. But like we was really just like, you know what, whatever, like we still getting a good price. We already saved $9,000 on the house itself. So it was like, you know what, that's fine. Because they weren't major repairs. They were just like nitpicky things here and there. So we were like, okay, let's just see what it'll cost us and is it worth it? And we felt that it was.
So after the inspector came, the next step was the appraisal. They tell us what the house is worth.
You want the appraisal to be more than what you paid for, because you want it to be worth it. The lender pays for the appraiser, so at least that's one fee you don't have to worry about.
Ours came back and it was more than what we paid. So then after that, I think it was just kind of moving forward with the process. Our realtor was keeping us updated on what they were doing in the background, but it wasn't really anything that we had to do. We sent in more documents for our loan. The first thing that we got done was the pre-approval, where you just answer questions basically and they tell you, okay, this is what we would pre-approve you for. But now they're actually checking.
A little background check to make sure your finances are exactly, like you can't lie on the pre-approval because the actual approval will show where you lied. So be careful. It ain't like getting an apartment where you could fake a bank statement. Like you cannot fake a bank statement for a house. They will check. You can feel fine, you can feel like your credit, you can feel like you did everything right, but once you're in the process, you still get nervous. Like, is something gonna be wrong that I didn't think about?
Right.
So that was kind of what kept us on our toes, is not being sure if we missed something. I know a lot of people were wondering if we use any type of program for first-time home buyers, and we didn't. So most of the information we got was because of Lindsay's parents and our realtor, but there are so many that you can do, so I highly recommend looking into it, either with banks, lenders, or just online doing the research. It might be some things in your area too. Also military. If you're in the military, Y'all know y'all be putting like 0% down on a house. So if you're in the military, just go ahead and buy a house. I don't even know why you watching this video, because I got like 2 homegirls that got nice houses for 0% down payment. So we went from waiting during that period just for the closing date, and then the closing date pulled up and we pulled up. When we met the sellers, I thought it was gonna be old people, because they was like negotiating back. They didn't want to pay for no repairs. So low key, when we went in, I was kind of like beefing with them silently. Like I was kind of like, like y'all really wasn't even messing with us. Y'all really wasn't trying to help us out. They ended up being so nice, and we was like, oh, they were cool.
Yeah, they were really nice. We were all there chilling. They were telling us random stuff about the house.
In
like
the neighborhood.
Yeah, the neighborhood, the garage code. Like just the little things that you don't even think about.
They already had cameras on the house that they left for us to continue to use.
Yeah, so it was real cool to meet them. Some of y'all asked if we have to do renovations, and we kind of talked about it a little bit, but we have to. We're just like getting a couple renovations done.
After we closed, we had already made appointments for contractors to come in, because we knew immediately we wanted new flooring and the walls a different color.
Yeah, that's what's going on right now. We're waiting, and then we'll be in by the end of the month after we get all of like the main renovations done. So
that pretty much sums up our experience. The only thing I will say is our reality versus our expectations was better in the best possible way. I was so nervous. I knew so many people that had bought houses previously, and they were telling me you had to write like letters to the sellers to try to convince them, and you had to persuade them, and they were like in a bidding war. We did not have any bidding wars. When we put in our offer, we were the only people that had put it in, which made us want to immediately like jump onto it, because we were nervous that other people were gonna try to buy it.
That just depends, I think, like on the market. Ours was relatively easy.
We got very lucky. We feel very blessed, and thank God that it was as smooth as it was.
Yes. So that was our home buying process from beginning to end. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I hope y'all maybe learn something new if you're ready to buy a house or you're not ready to buy a house. This was just our experience, so we wanted to share it with y'all.
Hopefully it makes it easier. So we're gonna end this here because we got a big week ahead, but we wanted to get this video out to y'all.
Yes, we're actually not gonna be with each other for like 8 days, so.
Oh, it sucks.
It's a long time.
I've been telling Lindsay, I've been walking around the house like, please don't leave me. Please don't leave me.
Yeah, now I have like 30 minutes.
She's gone Monday through Friday, and then I'm going Friday to Monday.
And then I'm gone again Monday to Wednesday, so.
So we won't be seeing each other for probably the longest since, like, I don't freaking know.
A long time. June.
Not happy about this.
Actually, it's longer than that.
Yeah, way longer than that, because June was 7 days. Maybe I'll do a video of my life without Lindsay for a day. Comment below if y'all want to see what I do when she not here. Let me know if y'all want to see a girl by herself, solo dolo.
I would watch it.
I know you would. I would watch you by yourself.
Alright, y'all. Thank you guys so much for watching. We love y'all so much. We'll see you next Tuesday. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
Period.
Bye.